Hi everyone. Do you like my outfit? What? You can't tell what I am? I guess you're right. You can't really see the whole thing. I have an idea. Let me show you a picture from a few years ago at church. There, that's better. Now, can you tell what I am? That's right. I am an Operation Christmas Child shoebox full of goodies for children to be sent all over the world to share the good news of Jesus' love for them and their families. So last week, if you watched my video, I showed you guys how you can pack a shoebox and some of the things that you can put inside. And I've come back to tell you a little bit more about it. Now it's called Operation Christmas Child, and what you do is you fill a shoebox with all kinds of good things like toys, school supplies, and hygiene items, and then you're gonna pack it all together, and they're gonna travel all around the world to children in need. Some of these children have never received anything for Christmas, and they may have never heard about Jesus before. So you can pack some things in a shoebox and you can tell them about Jesus. And your box is going to travel somewhere really cool, I bet. Maybe it'll go somewhere in Asia, like Thailand, Indonesia, or the Philippines, or maybe it'll go to South America. A couple of my boxes last year went to Guyana. Maybe yours will go to Central America, like Belize, or it might go to Africa. I've had some go to Malawi, Africa before. You might be asking, how do I know where my box went? Well, when you finish packing your shoebox, you're going to put a label on it like this. So a boy or a girl. Or if you want to, you can get one of these labels that looks like this, and it's a follow your box label. And when it gets on the box, it'll be scanned and it'll send you an email and tell you what country your box has gone to. So I found this great book that I wanted to share with you to tell you all about Operation Christmas Child. And it's called Miracle in a Shoebox. And it's written by Franklin Graham. And Franklin and his family are the ones that created the organization called Samaritan's Purse. And they started the collection of shoeboxes all the way back in 1993. And this book was actually written in 1995. So things have changed a little bit with the project. Like in the story, you're going to hear that they put toothpaste and gum inside the shoebox. But now when we fill shoeboxes, we can't put that sort of thing inside. So it's changed over the years, but it's still an amazing project where we can send shoebox gifts full of love and the message of Jesus to children all around the world. So let's find out more about how the project works. In the story, Miracles in a Shoebox. The first time Jay Kelly heard about the Shoebox project was on TV. It's called Operation Christmas Child, he told his mother. And it's so easy, even a 4-year-old could do it. He smiled and hugged his little sister Lisa. A group called Samaritan's Purse is going to send thousands and thousands of shoeboxes filled with toys and dolls and stuff on a big airplane to kids in other countries who don't have anything. He heard about it again when he was with his family making a Christmas list. When he heard the words Samaritan's Purse and shoebox on TV, he looked up. He saw pictures of sad children. Do these children really not have anything, Mom? Nothing, dear. And we have so much, she said, looking around the room. We should never forget to thank God for all of our blessings. So there he is with his little sister, and he's going to fill a shoebox. Jay ran into his bedroom. He closed the door slowly and looked around. He couldn't imagine what it was like to have nothing and to be dying from cold and hunger. Then he ran over to his dresser. He pulled out an envelope. On it, he had written Christmas money. Jay counted the money 3 times. Altogether, he had 10 quarters, 21 dimes, 6 nickels, and 4 pennies. That doesn't sound like much. Can you figure out how much money he has? It was 10 quarters, 21 dimes, 6 nickels, and 4 pennies. That must be enough to buy gifts to fill a shoebox, he thought. What do you think? Can he fill a box with that? Let's see. On Saturday, Jay went with his mom and sister to the store. Jay fingered his savings as he wandered down the aisles. At the scarves and hats, he thought, I'll give them warm things. He remembered the newscast of Bosnia and the children shivering in the snow. He pulled a red wool hat and blue scarf from the shelf. He took them to the checkout where Miss Parker, his Sunday school teacher, was working. That's a great idea. Scarves and hats. Because sometimes they go to cold places and sometimes they go to hot places. Well, hello, Jay, said Miss Parker. I'm buying these things to send to Bosnia. Bosnia? Sounds important, said Miss Parker. I'm working on a project called Operation Christmas Child. I'm filling a shoebox to send to a boy who won't get any presents this year. That sounds like something our Sunday school class would like to do, she said. Would you tell the rest of the class all about it? Sure, he said, as Miss Parker rang up the bill. It was more than his savings. Sadly, he took the hat and scarf back to the display. Then he chose a bar of soap, a tube of toothpaste. But don't forget, you can't put toothpaste in anymore. A toothbrush and a tiny toy car. He found a box of crayons and a coloring book on sale. When Jay was finished, Miss Parker put 2 packs of gum into the paper bag. She smiled. These are on me. And you can't put any gum anymore in the box either. Look, Jay said quietly as he held out his box. I wanted to give my friend from Bosnia something warm to wear, but I didn't have enough money. His mom and dad looked up. It's okay, Jay, Lisa piped up. I have some money. I'll help too. Tell you what, let's all help, said his dad. Then we can send something warm. The next day, they all went shopping. With the extra money, Jay was able to get the hat and scarf he'd wanted to buy. Lisa looked at every doll before picking out one with a pink dress, her favorite color. Miss Kelly chose a blanket, some little socks, and a rattle to make a shoebox for a baby. Mr. Kelly bought a flashlight. I read that children in war zones are often afraid of the dark, he said. Maybe this will help. Those are all great things to put in the shoeboxes. And if you're filling a shoebox, you can fill them for someone the same age as you with some of the same things you like too. Jay wrote a letter to his unknown friend. Don't forget, when you pack your shoeboxes, you can add a personal letter too, and you might even hear back from that child. I am praying for you. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Love, Jay Kelly. He placed it in the box with his school picture. Then he set aside a $5 bill to give to Samaritan's Purse to help pay for sending his shoebox to Bosnia. Now, back then, when it first started, it was $5. But now, if you're filling a shoebox, each shoebox takes $9 to ship it. Dad, you know what I would want for Christmas if I were living in Bosnia? Asked Jay. What's that, son? For the fighting to stop. You know, Jay, we can't stop the war with a shoebox, but we can pray that through the Christmas storybook that Samaritan's Purse is giving to each child, they will find real peace through Jesus Christ. Dad, could we pray for my shoebox friend? Sure, said Mr. Kelly, and they both bowed their heads. Don't forget, after you've sent your shoebox, to make sure you're praying for the child too. On Sunday morning, Jay marched proudly into his Sunday school class with a wrapped shoebox under his arm. As he talked about Operation Christmas Child, his enthusiasm caught on. When Jay finished, all the children decided to join him in making shoeboxes. The pastor even held up Jay's box during the service and asked everyone to take part in the project. Word spread quickly. throughout the whole town. Soon, lots of people were filling shoeboxes. When the Kellys went to church the next Sunday for the special shoebox dedication, Jay was surprised to see boxes piled high in the sanctuary and hundreds more stacked in the fellowship hall. Awesome! Today was our shoebox dedication day, so we prayed over all of our boxes that are going to make their journey soon. The pastor had a special prayer asking God to give joy and cheer to the little ones who would receive the shoeboxes. And the pastor prayed for something even more important, that the children would come to know Jesus and the true meaning of Christmas. That's really the most important part about sending these shoeboxes, isn't it? The next day, all of the hundreds of shoeboxes were loaded on a truck and taken to the airport. There, the shoeboxes from the Kellys' church joined thousands of other shoeboxes already being loaded into the big cargo plane. Samaritan's Purse would make sure that the shoeboxes got to Bosnia by Christmas. Now, your shoeboxes might not get to the child for Christmas. Sometimes it takes a lot longer, so you don't have to put Christmassy things in the box because they get shipped to children all over the world all year round. Now we've changed. Now we've gone to Bosnia. Looks a bit different, doesn't it? Far away in Bosnia, the war raged on. Ever since his father had been taken away as a prisoner of war, Adnan Vasic had been helping take care of his mother and Nina, his 3-year-old sister. Though he was only 9 years old, Adnan had learned quickly how to survive in the war-torn streets of Bosnia. Their house was destroyed in the fighting, and Adnan found a shelter for them in the cellar of a bombed-out building. After dark, when the streets were deserted, he would creep out to search for food. Often the fighting would go on and on. Day and night, they could hear machine gun fire and bombing. Then Adnan would not dare go out. Every day, they hoped to hear that their father was alive, but there was no news, only the sound of war and children crying. That's what's happening in some of these countries where the shoeboxes are being sent. Definitely not what we're used to here, is it? Adnan tried to sleep, but was restless. His empty stomach seemed to roar as loud as the noise outside. His bed, 2 chairs pushed against the wall, felt harder than usual. After tossing and turning for almost an hour, he finally got comfortable. He looked over at Nina. Even in her sleep, she looked worried. He thought of his father, and his heart sank. Who would take care of them? What would they eat? How long could they survive? When he stepped onto the street the next morning, he felt the excitement in the air. Cease fire! Cease fire! Tomorrow is Christmas, someone said. Christmas, Adnan thought. Oh, I forgot all about it. Our house has been bombed, and our father has been taken prisoner. What do we have to celebrate? There has been an agreement to stop the fighting, a friend told him. We must tell everyone to go to the square tomorrow. They're going to exchange prisoners, and a convoy will bring food. There will even be presents for us from an international Christian organization called Samaritan's Purse. Adnan hurried through the dangerous streets to his cellar. He felt hopeful for the first time in months. Something to look forward to. The next day, people came out of their hiding places. A convoy of white Samaritan's Purse trucks rolled slowly down the bombed-out streets. When Adnan and Nina arrived with their mother, the trucks were surrounded by men, women, and children. Everyone was eager to catch a glimpse of the precious cargo. A hot meal, thought Mrs. Vasic, as she watched one of the Samaritan's Purse workers hand a food parcel to her neighbor. Then a man handed Adnan and his sister boxes wrapped in brightly colored paper. A doll, hoped Nina. She had dropped hers in the street last year as they ran from a sniper's bullets. Merry Christmas, said the man. Suddenly, there was a far-off roar. Everyone froze. Far from across the square, buses appeared. I think they're hoping it might be his dad. "The prisoners!" shouted Adnan. Mrs. Vasek clung to her children. The door to the first bus opened, and out stepped a man in ragged clothes. His face was dirty. He had a beard, and he was very thin. One by one, the prisoners filed off the bus. Many were wounded. Some had only one arm or walked with crutches. Adnan's eyes began to fill with tears. "Where is Papa?" he thought. Adnan looked back at the last bus. There were just a few more prisoners left. Through his tears, he saw a tall, thin figure shuffle down the steps. Could it be? But the man looked so old. It couldn't be. Then their eyes met. "Adnan! Nina!" cried the man. "Papa! Oh, Papa!" shouted the children as they pushed through the crowd and jumped into his arms. Papa had come home. The family reunited after many months, made their way back to their bombed-out cellar they called home. Nina and Adnan had been so excited about seeing Papa, they hadn't even opened their boxes yet. Wow, what a great Christmas for them. They're finally together again. The Vaseks gathered around the small table in their cellar room. Mrs. Vasek lit a candle. "Open your presents, children," said their father. Mr. Vasek looked at Mrs. Vasek and then at the faces of the little ones. He thought back to the prayer he had said late one night in prison. "God, if you're out there, show me you care." They were together again. There was food, real food, and there were even presents for the children. "Papa!" cried Nina. "A doll! A doll! And she's wearing my favorite color." "Look!" said Adnan, holding up a red hat and a blue scarf. He pulled the hat over his ears. Then he carefully wrapped the scarf around his neck. They fit just right. He decided he would wear them always. Do you remember where they came from? Looks familiar, doesn't it? Mr. Vasek spotted a children's storybook lying on the table among the gifts scattered there. On the cover was a picture of a young woman and a baby lying in a bed of straw. He picked up the book and began to read the words written in his own language. That's the great thing about these shoeboxes. You don't have to worry about speaking different languages. Samaritan's Purse will put a perfect book inside your box for where they're going, and the child will be able to read it in their own language. Everyone watched him curiously. When he finally looked up, his eyes were filled with tears. "Anya, children," he said quietly, "you must hear this." He opened the book and read each word aloud. "Our friends in America have shown us they care by sending these wonderful gifts," he said. "But God has given the greatest gift of all, His Son. 2,000 years ago, God sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, to die on a cross and save us from our sins. And now we can ask Him to come into our hearts and forgive us. This Jesus can give us new life. Tonight we will put our faith in Him." Their father bowed his head. One by one, Mrs. Vasek, Adnan, and Nina bowed their heads too. When they finished praying, the cellar was still damp and cold, but now the miracle of God's love warmed in each of their hearts. Wow, that was pretty powerful, wasn't it? And in the back of the book is a letter that Adnan's writing to Jay, because don't forget, Jay put his letter and school picture in the box for Adnan. And it says, "Dear Jay, my name is Adnan. I am 9 years old. My sister, Nina, is 3. There is a war here, and bombs are falling down every day. Our house was destroyed. Our father was in prison, but he is home now. We got your presents. Everything is so wonderful. Thank you. I like the hat and scarf. They keep me very warm. My sister got a doll from your sister. She didn't have a doll and wanted one very much. But the best thing you gave us is Jesus. When we got your gifts, Papa read the Christmas story and told us about Jesus. Then we prayed and asked him to come into our hearts. I am very happy. God gave us the greatest gift of all, Jesus Christ. Now we have true peace. Your friend, Adnan. The end. Wow, what an amazing story, and what an amazing project that you can help out with too. So if you want any more information about filling shoe boxes or where to take them when you're finished with them, please don't hesitate to send me a message and ask me more about Samaritan's Purses project of Operation Christmas Child. Bye for now.